You forcefully kissed a perfect-tier eerie campus beauty at Harvard University while everyone else was struggling to survive. Yet here you are, sweetly falling in love with her. Unbeknownst to many, the eerie game has descended upon the entire globe. Each country randomly selects one player to enter the realm of anomalies and fight for survival. Only nations that successfully complete all rule-based scenarios will earn rewards. Those that fail will vanish into the annals of history, forever becoming part of the eerie realm. As memories flooded back, you realized your dire situation if you're eliminated in the eerie world. Not only does the game end for you, but it also means real death. At this moment, 200 contestants from around the world have been transported into the eerie realm. The Thriller University scenario has begun. Simply checking daily and surviving for 44 days guarantees success. Every moment will be broadcast live worldwide, except under special circumstances. The large iron gate of the left dormitory building creaked open as a male dorm supervisor wielding a baton emerged. His head tilted unnaturally. Male students on the left. You may now choose your rooms. Each room accommodates only one person, and half of them already have occupants. His voice trailed off into an unsettling laugh. The sight sent shivers down every contestant's spine, forcing them to obediently file into their respective dorms. But you remained frozen, hesitating. Your attention was drawn to the right, the female dormitory's iron gate, where faint words floated eerily in the air. Other female contestants walked past without reaction, meaning only you could see them. You squinted, trying to decipher the tiny text, but it was too small. To read it clearly, you'd need to step inside the girls' dormitory and act likely to violate the rules. After all, men entering the women's quarters could mean instant elimination by the eerie supervisor. Taking a deep breath, you glanced at the unsettling figure beside you before heading resolutely toward the girls' dorm. The viewers in Las Vegas Country's live stream erupted in disbelief. Isn't he supposed to go to the male dorm? Why is he heading right? Wait, I checked our contestant Rowan Beans' stats earlier. He's an 18-year-old college student, with less than a 1% chance of clearing the game. If he doesn't get taken out by the supervisor, I'll eat my hat, someone quipped. Soon after, updates from other countries began rolling in. Contestants from Milner Gordon, Sandre, Hannah Gordon, and Michael Oliver had successfully settled in. Meanwhile, global chat rooms mocked Rowan Beans mercilessly. The fastest elimination record this year goes to him, eliminated before even starting. No one does failure better than Rowan Beans. Faced with ridicule from rival nations, Las Vegas Country's audience grew furious, some abandoning the livestream altogether. Your nerves were equally frayed as you approached the threshold. Just then, the dorm supervisor called out, halting your steps. There's no rule forbidding males from entering the ghost-infested girls' dorm, but once chosen, there's no turning back. Are you certain this is your choice? Meeting his gaze with unwavering resolve, you nodded. The supervisor stepped back cautiously. Very well, but let me warn you, your decision isn't wise. Inside lies something far more terrifying. He fell silent, as though gripped by fear himself. The shock rippled through Las Vegas Country's livestream. Did we see that correctly? A male contestant can enter the haunted girls' dorm. Technically, it doesn't break any rules about gender-specific dorm assignments. But what horrors await inside? Could it involve a perfect tier anomaly? Reaching the iron gates of the girls' dormitory, a soft, melodic chime echoed in your ears. Congratulations! You've discovered a hidden rule hint. Don't ask why. Proceed to the 6th floor. No matter what happens, do not look back. This message is exclusive to you alone. Surveying the staircase leading upward, you took a deep breath and sprinted up multiple steps at a time, racing toward the unknown above. As soon as you reached the 2nd floor, an eerie wailing echoed in your ears. Don't look back. Don't stop. You began sprinting with everything you had. Even pausing for a single second made you feel the chilling presence of something unnatural behind you. Finally, gasping for breath, you arrived at the 6th floor. Your body was drenched in sweat, your calves trembling uncontrollably from the exertion. But strangely, once you reached the 6th floor, the sinister sounds vanished entirely. Suddenly, the ethereal chime returned, whispering another cryptic hidden hint. After entering, close your eyes. Don't speak, just kiss her. Was this really a legitimate hidden clue? It seemed absurdly outlandish. A wave of realization hit you. Don't speak and kiss her. That could only mean one thing. There was definitely a ghost inside this dorm room. According to the dorm supervisor, entering such a room meant certain death. Was this the terrifying entity he warned about? You glanced at the door number, room 614, and swallowed hard. Your mind spiraled into a nightmare, conjuring vivid images of horrors, slit-mouthed women, long-tongued specters, and countless other grotesque apparitions. Just then, a blood-curdling scream erupted from the opposite end of the hallway. Someone had chosen poorly and been erased. The mounting pressure weighed heavily on you. At that moment, a broadcast announcement reverberated throughout the school. 30 seconds until midnight. Any contestant not inside the dormitory by then will lose their life. From midnight to 8 a.m., all participants must remain in their rooms. The ticking clock echoed ominously across the campus, leaving no room for thought. You'd come this far. Not choosing would mean death anyway. Whatever, or whoever, was inside, you decided to face it head on. Imagining her as a soft, sweet girl, you tightly shut your eyes, pushed open the door, and heard it slam behind you. Standing before you was a young woman in a flowing red dress. Her jet black hair cascaded over her shoulders, framing crimson eyes that gleamed like fresh blood through the window, a sight both mesmerizing and horrifying. In Las Vegas Country's live stream, despair took hold. It's the red dress anomaly, one of the most powerful entities in rule-based scenarios, globally recognized as a perfect tier anomaly. Countless contestants have perished because of her. It's over. Rowan Beans is doomed. He'll die horribly. On screen, you stood frozen, eyes squeezed shut, oblivious to who, or what, was standing in front of you. Following the hint, you moved forward blindly. After just 2 steps, your fingertips brushed against something icy cold, an impossibly smooth texture. Unlike human skin, judging by touch alone, delicate features, a slender frame around 160 centimeters tall, an oval-shaped face. Satisfied with your assessment, you nearly blurted out a response when a frigid voice cut through the air. Are you done feeling me up? You instinctively bit back your reply, swallowing it down, remembering the instructions. Don't speak. Kiss her. With no other options left, you steeled yourself. In one bold motion, you pulled the spectral figure into your arms and kissed her deeply. Guided by sheer muscle memory, the phantom trembled violently in your embrace, her crimson eyes widening in shock at your audacity. The Las Vegas Country live stream exploded in disbelief. Even though Rowan Beans lost, I think he might have won somehow. If you're brave enough, even ghosts take maternity leave. News of Rowan Beans forcibly kissing the red dress anomaly spread like wildfire across international streams, igniting a frenzy online. Foreign viewers couldn't get enough of the audacious act, fueling endless discussions and skyrocketing popularity. The audience waited with bated breath, anticipating the moment Rowan Beans would be torn apart by the eerie entity. Minutes ticked by, yet the live feed remained unchanged. If not for the subtle movements visible on screen, one might have thought the broadcast had frozen. It wasn't just the viewers who were stunned. Even you felt a creeping sense of disbelief, though mostly because of how cold it was. Kissing her felt like clutching a human-shaped block of ice. The chilling embrace lasted a full 5 minutes. Gradually, however, the icy sensation seemed to warm up ever so slightly. Finally, you released her and exhaled deeply, still keeping your eyes tightly shut. In that moment, blindness felt blissful. You didn't want to risk seeing something that would haunt you for life. But unbeknownst to you, the red-dressed anomaly's cheeks had begun to flush faintly. Breaking the silence, she asked in a soft tone, "How did it feel? Just moments ago, you'd blindly kissed the campus beauty for a solid 5 minutes. Yet now you hesitated to open your eyes or respond." She pressed again. "Well, what did it feel like?" "Cool, and a little sweet," you admitted awkwardly, trying to lighten the mood. You added, "Shall we continue?" Her reply came swiftly, "We can." You nodded, but this time, before you could even reach out, she lunged into your arms and kissed you once more. The live stream erupted as viewers worldwide reeled from the shock. Single men watching at home felt their last defenses crumble under the weight of envy. "This isn't real," Is it? Are they really doing this? Comments flooded the chat, some demanding answers while others simply marveled at the scene unfolding. While Las Vegas Country's audience buzzed with excitement, international viewers grew restless. Las Vegas Country shouldn't celebrate too soon. One comment read, "Surviving 44 days in the campus is what truly counts." Minutes later, the red-dressed anomaly finally pulled away, but noticed you still hadn't opened your eyes. "You're afraid to look at me?" Her voice carried a hint of curiosity. You froze, unsure how to respond. Admitting fear of her appearance might offend her, and angering her was not an option, not when survival hung in the balance. Before you could decide, she spoke again, her tone laced with menace. "If your answer displeases me, I'll end you." Panicking, you blurted out everything on your mind. "When I first came in, I closed my eyes because I thought you'd be ugly, like maybe a slit-mouthed woman, a long-tongued ghost, or someone with grotesque features." And honestly, each word sent ripples of agony through the Las Vegas Country livestream. Viewers begged silently, "Stop being so brutally honest. Open your eyes and see for yourself." She urged, "Even though I'm a perfect-tier anomaly, do I look anything less than a top-tier campus beauty?" Foreign audiences roared with laughter at your expense. Meanwhile, hearing your candid confession, the red-dressed anomaly burst into giggles. "Good, I like honesty. My name is Linda. Welcome to room 614. No sooner had Linda spoken than an announcement echoed across the eerie world. Las Vegas Country contestant successfully settled. Question marks filled every livestream chat. Cheating detected. This has to be cheating. Skepticism abounded, including from you. You hesitated, then asked cautiously, "So, does this mean I get to stay here with you?" Her voice turned icy. "What? You're not happy about it?" No, it's not that." You scrambled to clarify. "It's just that the dorm supervisor said each room can only house one person." She chuckled mockingly. "Remember this. My rules override his." Hearing her words, you didn't doubt her authority for a second. From the very beginning, the unsettling warnings about the girls' dormitory, the supervisor's palpable fear, and the cryptic hints, it all pointed to her immense power. A hidden prompt chimed in your ear. "Open your eyes and review the school regulations." "Oh right, there's a handbook," you muttered absently. Slowly, you opened your eyes and took in the sight of the girl standing before you. In that fleeting moment, everything seemed surreal, all the fear and dread you'd endured. It turned out she looked nothing like the monstrous images you'd imagined. No slit-mouthed woman, no long-tongued ghost, far from it. This apparition was more like a crimson mole, or moonlit glow etched into the hearts of countless men. The phantom before you wasn't just sweeter, or softer than the girl you'd fantasized about earlier. She was perfection incarnate. It was clear now, the hidden hints hadn't misled you. Seeing your dumbfounded expression, Linda leaned closer, her face inches from yours. "Take another good look," she teased. "Do I really resemble those low-tier anomalies?" You couldn't help but suck in a sharp breath. But still, this was an eerie event, a perfect-tier anomaly at that. Red dress phantoms weren't exactly known for being sweet and docile in reality. No, they were the kind who could, and would, kill without hesitation. "Right, what about the school rules?" you muttered, snapping back to attention. Your eyes scanned the room, until Linda raised her hand, and with an invisible force, the door swung shut again. Taped to the back of it was a white sheet covered in text. You stepped closer, squinting under the bloody moonlight filtering through the window. "Never be late. It's getting late," Linda said softly, turning toward the bed. With a flick of her wrist, the blood-stained mosquito net parted, revealing the mattress inside. She glanced at you with a playful smirk. "Shall we sleep together, or are you afraid I might eat you alive? You want to devour me? That wouldn't be hard for you," you replied wryly. Then, forcing a smile, you added, "I'm more worried about whether this bed can hold up." Her cheeks flushed pink again. "Whether it's sturdy enough? Why don't you test it and find out?" Before you could respond, an unseen force seized control of your body, lifting you off the ground and depositing you squarely onto the princess bed. The mosquito net fell around you, as darkness swallowed the livestream feed from Las Vegas Country entirely. "What's going on? Why is the screen black? Where's the payment portal? I've got money. Let me see." Viewers scrambled for answers. The truth was, even the official broadcasters saw nothing but pitch blackness. Meanwhile, international audiences grew restless. Why does your country's contestant still have video while ours doesn't? Seriously, our guy only has a chair to sit on. How come Rowan Beans gets a bed? Time flew by, and morning arrived quickly. At 8 a.m., static flickered across Las Vegas Country's livestream signal. Instantly, all eyes locked onto the screen. When the footage returned, groans filled the chat. Sleeping with a ghost does kill you. One viewer quipped, "You crawled out of bed. Dark circles under your eyes." Looking utterly drained, Linda lay on her side. Her once sleek black hair now tousled and messy. Her voice echoed faintly in the room, tinged with irritation. Even you were startled, but noticing she hadn't woken up yet. You froze. Could anomalies talk in their sleep during the realm of eerie? Whatever the case, the revelation sent shockwaves through Las Vegas Country's livestream. Rowan Beans is our hope. He even tamed a perfect tier anomaly. Some cheered. Yet others tempered excitement with realism. But this is only the first night. And there's still the death exercise coming up. Can he handle it? As the discussion unfolded, initial excitement gave way to anxiety among Las Vegas Country's audience. Foreign viewers relished mocking them further. Looks comfortable, doesn't he? But trust me, death isn't far behind. How naive to think you can date an anomaly. While the barrage of comments debated these eerie developments, announcements echoed throughout the campus. 10 minutes until 8:30. All students must gather on the field for the death exercise. At that moment, Linda opened her eyes. You glanced at her curiously. Are you joining the death exercise? Her lips curled into a mischievous grin. Last night was quite memorable. Just as you finished your tender moment with Linda, the campus broadcast blared a reminder. The death exercise was about to begin. Are you going to join the death exercise? You asked her. I can go if I want to, or not. Linda replied casually before adding, you understand. You nodded silently, and she waved dismissively. Go ahead. Grabbing your jacket from the bed, you turned and headed out of the dormitory. As you emerged from the girls' ghost dormitory, foreign contestants across the way stared in astonishment. Though none dared approach or strike up a conversation, the distance between the dorms and the field wasn't far. And when you arrived, there was still 2 minutes left on the clock. By then, over 100 humans had already gathered on the field. When they saw you approach, their gazes ranged from puzzled to shocked, and even envious. Without access to live streams, they couldn't know what you'd been through last night. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed. In the distance, a towering anomaly strode forward. The eerie instructor immediately barked orders, prompting everyone to scramble for suitable positions. Standing at 183 centimeters tall, you found yourself placed toward the back of the line. Wait for me, a figure rushed over frantically, a blonde-haired man. His nationality unclear, with pleading eyes. He begged the anomaly instructor, please, give me another chance. But instead of mercy, the instructor's face twisted into a cruel smile. In an instant, he seized the man by the shoulder and sank his teeth into his neck. A blood-curdling scream pierced the air as the campus announcement system chimed again. Kangaroo contestant eliminated. Witnessing this brutal scene, every heart raced to their throats. Some participants nearly fainted on the spot. Even you felt your stomach churn, but since you hadn't eaten, it only amounted to dry heaving. Casually tossing aside the remnants of the victim, the anomaly instructor clapped his hands. A horde of bizarre anomalies, each more unsettling than the last, began flooding onto the field. Some were male, others female, some humanoid, others ethereal spirits or grotesque patchwork monstrosities stitched together from mismatched parts. There seemed no limit to the forms they could take, under the weight of their piercing gazes. All contestants teetered on the brink of mental collapse. The anomaly instructor roared loudly, his voice reverberating across the field. Each anomaly circled the group like predators sizing up prey, as though selecting delicacies for consumption. Then, unexpectedly, a porcelain-skinned, pajama-clad anomaly resembling a Barbie doll stepped forward, straight toward you. Seeing this, nearby contestants shot you envious glances. Despite her blood-soaked appearance, shattered teeth, and body riddled with needle marks, Compared to the non-humanoid abominations around her, she looked almost angelic. Dangerous, yes, but still preferable to the nauseating alternatives. Everyone feared being paired with something truly horrifying. But just as everyone assumed that Death Barbie would choose you, she suddenly swiveled her head and locked eyes with the uniformed man beside you, a contestant from Canada. Smiling sweetly, she extended her hand. "Nice to meet you," she cooed, her tone eerily cheerful. To everyone's shock, the Canada contestant beamed back and willingly took her hand. With a smug glance in your direction, the Canada contestant lifted his chin arrogantly and strutted away from the group. The remaining unchosen contestants exchanged looks of schadenfreude, directing pitying stares your way. Some muttered under their breath, "Better not get close, it's just too tragic." What should have been your best chance had slipped away at the last moment. Others continued pairing off successfully, though none matched the surreal charm of the Death Barbie. Still, some pairings fell within the realm of acceptability. Yet for those who remained unselected, dread loomed ever larger. Most of the remaining anomalies were low-tier ghosts, none even remotely humanoid. Just as a bizarre figure, its body wrapped in thin ribbons and knives jutting from its back, crawled toward you on all fours. Emitting an unbearable stench, a flash of red appeared in the distance. The crimson figure moved unhurriedly toward the field, instantly capturing everyone's attention. "She's so beautiful," whispers rippled through the crowd. "Do contestants like this really exist?" "No, she can't be human," someone muttered. "There are only a few female participants, and she wasn't among them on the first day." "Exactly," another voice chimed in. "Just look at how the other anomalies seem terrified of her." The sight filled the contestants with both fear and regret. If the Death Barbie had been unsettling yet tolerable, Linda's arrival shattered their understanding. No one doubted that even in the human world, her beauty would rival that of a top-tier celebrity. As she drew closer, the surrounding anomalies instinctively cleared a path. Even the eerie instructor bowed deeply, his posture shrinking as he greeted her with a nervous smile. You've come," he stammered. "Is there a reason I shouldn't have?" Linda's sharp gaze pinned him in place. The instructor immediately dropped to his knees. No, I didn't mean it like that," he pleaded. "You're here because..." But Linda ignored him completely, striding purposefully toward the group of unpaired contestants. Among the dozen or so still awaiting matches, hearts raced with a mix of excitement and dread. Even if death awaited them later, dying at the hands of such a stunning anomaly seemed preferable to being paired with something grotesque. At that moment, every eye, human and anomaly alike, was fixed on Linda. Everyone wondered, who would this mesmerizing anomaly choose? Finally, Linda stepped through the crowd. The earlier anomaly that had approached you recoiled in terror, scrambling backward several meters, with a faint smirk playing at the corner of her lips. Linda reached out and took your hand. "It's you," she said simply. Her words hung in the air, freezing everyone in place. All eyes turned to you, scrutinizing, trying to decipher what made you special. What kind of power did you possess to draw the attention of a perfect tier anomaly? Sure, you were handsome, but not that extraordinary. Right, don't celebrate too soon, some muttered bitterly. Being chosen by a red dress anomaly is no blessing. This is the realm of Eerie. We can't expect her to spare humans. Yet beneath their harsh words simmered envy. For your part, you felt a wave of relief. Thank goodness Linda had arrived. Escaping a horrifying pairing meant last night's desperate efforts hadn't been wasted. Linda glanced back at the instructor, who was still kneeling on the ground. Sensing her piercing stare, he scrambled to his feet. Clearing his throat, he announced, "Sit-ups." The moment the words left his mouth, suspicion spread across the faces of the contestants. Was this deliberately cruel? The rules dictated they'd perform sit-ups while the anomalies pinned their legs, a nightmare scenario. But despite their unease, one thing was clear: once someone collapsed, the rest could advance. Every day, one person would be eliminated due to the death exercise. "Find your positions," the instructor barked. Paired contestants lay down neatly on the field, while the anomalies secured their legs using various methods. Though the rules prohibited direct interference, the mere presence of the anomalies, their terrifying appearances, putrid odors, and oppressive auras, was already a significant challenge. But the scene on your side was an entirely different story. Linda casually sat sideways on your lap. Her demeanor relaxed and confident. There wasn't a shred of doubt in anyone's mind that, if you so much as attempted a single sit-up, your faces would practically brush against each other, close enough to kiss. Linda gazed at you, her tone laced with playful provocation. "You're a man," she said lightly. "You can handle anything, but you can't handle a woman saying no." Even though she was an anomaly, she belonged to you. That much had already been proven. It just wasn't something you could openly discuss. Smiling mischievously, Linda reached out and playfully flicked your nose. In that instant, you felt waves of murderous intent directed your way. A quick glance confirmed it. Every contestant was glaring at you with barely concealed fury. If this weren't the realm of Eerie, you'd have been mobbed and attacked by now. "All right, everyone, get ready," the instructor suddenly barked. At his command, the crowd snapped back to attention. Jealousy aside, no one wanted to be eliminated. They had no choice but to focus and start performing their sit-ups. However, after only a few minutes, many were already drenched in sweat. The Eerie instructor prowled through the crowd, carefully scrutinizing each contestant's movements. If he caught anyone slacking off, he'd immediately begin berating them. Practically every participant received his harsh prodding, everyone except for you. Not once did he even glance in your direction. Finally, the instructor stopped in front of a man wearing overalls. "Faster, pick up the pace. Why are you so slow? You're moving like a woman," he taunted mercilessly. The overalls-clad man's eyes welled up with tears as he pushed himself to complete 75 consecutive sit-ups before collapsing onto the ground. Gasping for air, I can't do it anymore," he panted, utterly spent. The instructor smirked, clearly pleased. Someone has reached their limit. Everyone else, take a break. Upon hearing these words, the exhausted man seemed to experience a fleeting surge of energy. Pointing furiously in your direction, he screamed, "Unfair! This is unfair! How come we're struggling to survive? While he's over there kissing her." His voice echoed across the field, drawing even more glares toward you.